What's going on, everyone? So Zach Lavine posted a video to his social media, as you see on screen right now. Now, I edited this down because it was like a minute long video and it was like him golfing and doing all this other stuff. I just kind of edited it to the basketball stuff. But as you can see, I mean, he looks good. I mean, he's moving well. He's shooting, right? He's still has the lift. He's out here dunking. He's doing all like the stuff that you want to see Zach Lavine being able to do, right? Like, he's an incredible talent. He's excellent at scoring the basketball, right? Like, he's got insane athleticism and lift, right? He has a lot of the things that the Lakers could really use on their basketball team. And the big question is Zach and his health. Like, what does he look like post-surgery? Now, even the whole surgery thing was a little, like, questionable, right? Like, there was no talk of surgery whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, right, he has to go and get surgery. And it just coincidentally happened when the Detroit Pistons were like, hey, we might trade for Zach Lavine. He was like, nah, I'm not going to Detroit. Rather go get surgery. Because before that, he was expected to come back on the court. He was expected to kind of finish out the season. And then he decided to go the surgery route. But like, I believe in March, I think it was like late March, he basically said that he's way ahead of schedule, that he should be good. Again, we don't really know like how significant like that surgery was or anything like that. Just kind of seems like, again, it kind of seems like it was like, I don't necessarily need surgery, but I might as well get surgery so I don't get traded to Detroit. At least it's kind of how it felt to me. But Zach Lavine is a guy that I have talked about the Lakers potentially going and acquiring, right? Based on reports, and these are reports out of Chicago. These aren't Laker reports. These aren't, something like that. Because people are always like, oh, yeah, of course the Lakers. No, this is from Chicago. This is like NBC Chicago sports, right? Like the Chicago Tribune, like all these like Chicago just reporters are all reporting that Zach Lavine in Chicago are basically done. They've spoke to each other. They both want to part ways. And Chicago basically is willing to unload him as a salary dump, essentially, right? They don't want all the ads. They don't want a bunch of stuff back. They're not expecting a huge return. There are some murmurs going around that the Lakers would be interested in trading for Zach Lavine if they could land Alex Caruso, right? That's the idea. Like, we'll take the risk on Zach Lavine, but we want Alex Caruso back because, one, the Lakers should have never let him go. Two, based on reports, the Lakers regret letting Alex Caruso go. The report that originally talked about the Lakers wanting to get Alex Caruso with Zach Lavine was like, hey, like they really regret letting him go. So to me, if you can get Zach Lavine, or if you can get Alex Caruso by taking on Zach Lavine, I think it's a no-brainer, right? I think it's the risk would be worth the reward, in my opinion. Because if guys are healthy, and look, injury concerns are always going to be concerned for every team, right? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. And I know like there's more risk than others and stuff like that, but Zach Lavine's played about as many games as the last few years, obviously not this past year, but the last few years, has played basically as many, if not more, than pretty much every star in the league, right? I mean, there's a reason the NBA set the game minute limit to 65 games, because that's basically the average for stars, right? Stars are basically playing around 65 games a season. As long as he's healthy come playoffs is where it really matters. Obviously, you need him during the regular season. Obviously, the regular season is important. I mean, look, just us Lakers, we know because we're in the play in the last few years, right? So obviously the regular season is very important, but I do think that everybody collectively would play enough games in order for you to be good, right? And, people have a concern, well, if you take Zach Lavine, well, now you have a limited roster. It's all vet minimum guys. No, you're still in good shape. You'd still be in the same position you're in. Now, the only way that the Lakers could realistically land Caruso and Lavine is if D'Lo opts in. So if D'Lo opts in, you can easily make that, and you could still like keep Austin Reeves or Jared Vanderbilt. You could pick one. You'd have to get rid of one of them, but you could keep one, right? Chances are the Lakers are going to keep Austin Reeves, for being honest. I would rather them keep Jared Vanderbilt, especially if you go get Caruso and Zach Lavine, because with Caruso and Zach Lavine, Caruso shot like 45% from three-point range last season. He was lights out from three. But also, I just think that like with Zach Lavine, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Alex Caruso, you have a more than enough offensive firepower in the starting unit. Although Reeves, if he's kind of willing to take like a sixth-man role, right, I wouldn't hate that. Because you could go something like your starting five could be something like Lavine, go like Christie, Caruso, LeBron, and Anthony Davis, right? And Zach Lavine with his ability to kind of initiate the offense, right? Because LeBron basically be your pseudo point guard, right? So you just need somebody that can initiate the offense and not turn the ball over, bringing it up the court. You'd have Alex Caruso, Zach Lavine could do it, LeBron could do it if you needed him to, right? So I think you'd be fine in that regard, or maybe you go pick up another guy, get somebody that willing to take a flyer, maybe get like a Royce O'Neal or something like that. Again, I'm not worried about the depth factor because right off the bat, let's say you went and got Zach Lavine and Alex Caruso. Right? Let's say you keep Austin Reeves. Bare minimum, and I'm not necessarily saying starting five, I'm just saying listing the players. You'd have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Alex Caruso, Zach Lavine, Austin Reeves. You'd have Max Christie, right? You'd have Christian Wood. So there's 7 guys there. And that's not counting if like Spencer Dinwiddie sticks around, Taurean Prince sticks around, whatever. But let's say that they don't, right? Bare minimum, you have those 7 guys. You have Maxwell Lewis, right? He could take a jump, see how that goes. Right, you got 7 guys. If you keep your draft pick, because now you don't have to, let's say you draft Zach Edey, right? Well, now you have then all you need to do is just go get 2 or 3 guys on a vet minimum deal. Right? Take a flyer on like a Kevin Porter Jr., right? Go get like 1 or 2 role guys. Like the Lakers would be fine depth-wise. But to me, it's like if you could get Zach Lavine and Alex Caruso and still keep all of your picks, well, now you're in a position to where you can go do other things if you need to. Like Austin Reeves, you could take Austin Reeves and get an upgrade if you needed to, right? Like you could take Austin Reeves and something else, right? And go and do that. Like say you give Max Christie a new contract, right? Like you could take Reeves and Christie if you needed to and go get, a mid-tier guy. Right? Maybe go get somebody else, whoever that is, right? Like, it just gives you flexibility. Plus, you have your picks for the future, right? So, even if Zach Lavine doesn't work out, you have picks to go along with Zach Lavine's contract to where maybe you could go a team that's willing to that's rebuilding and going like, hey, we're kind of hitting the reset button. Okay, well, take Zach Lavine, we'll give you some picks for the process, give us these role guys, right? Like there's always ways to get it to work, right? Like very few guys have ever been untradeable, right? Now, again, I think Zach Lavine would work. I think he fits perfectly. Excellent catch and shoot shooter. He's explosive and finishes well at the rim. Can basically score from anywhere on the court. When he's on, and I mean he's on, he's up there with the best of them. I mean, he had a 50-point game last year and he only played 21 games, right? Like, guy can go get buckets, close down the stretch. He also showed when he came back with Chicago, more willingness to make plays for others and kind of be that third guy, right? Rather than like, oh, I have to go get my 17 attempts and all that stuff, which would be good, right? Because if LeBron and Anthony Davis are cooking, right, he's going to need to find other ways to be effective. His defense isn't as bad as people make it out to be. He actually he's not a great defender, right? But he's actually been very good. He's been serviceable. And that's all you kind of need, right? Especially if you got like Alex Caruso, which is why I also would want to keep Jared Vanderbilt, right? Because like at that point, you could go like Caruso, Lavine, Vando, LeBron, and AD. And in my opinion, good luck, right? Because you got the defense, you got the point of attack, you got 2 all defensive level guys on your roster in the starting 5. Obviously, be nice if Jared Vanderbilt could shoot the 3-ball respectively. But I think even if he's just like, as long as he's like at least league average, I think you're good there. Plus the Lakers did a really good job of making him an offensive weapon even before. So like, I'm not really like worried about Jared Vanderbilt in that regard. But like Alex Caruso, again, you could put Vando on the best player and then Alex Caruso on the second best player and just like completely shut teams down. Zach Lavine's defending the third best player. You're good, right? Anthony Davis. Jared Vanderbilt and Anthony Davis by themselves make the Lakers a top defense. What does adding a guy like Alex Caruso do to your defense? You're probably one of the, if not the best defensive teams in the league at that point, right? You have more than enough offensive firepower through everybody. If Alex Caruso could continue to shoot the way that he shot last season, you got more than enough shooting. Like, you're in good shape, especially if LeBron could continue to shoot the 3 the way that he did. I think you're in good shape. You could still keep your 17th pick, go draft like a Zach Edey or something like that. All right, now you got your backup center. That go get you, I think Zach Edey out the gate could give you 15 and 8 or something like that. Right? Obviously, it depends on the amount of minutes, the amount of touches, the role and opportunity. But I do think he's already made NBA level player, right? So I don't really worry about the depth. I think you'd be fine with the depth. To me, it's more you'd get to keep all your assets, right? The biggest question is just what does Zach Lavine look like? Is he healthy? Is he good to go? And based on like what we're seeing, yes, he looks like he's ready. He looks like he's good to go. And now I do think the Lakers, like that will be kind of the last option for the Lakers, in my opinion. Like, I think the Lakers will, like, can we get Donovan Mitchell? No. Okay, can we get DeJounte Murray? No. Can we get Trae Young? No. All right, let's work out the Zach Lavine and Alex Caruso, which I'm fine with. I think the injury history of Zach Lavine, I think, is blown out of proportion, right? And look, I know, like, even if he does come to Lakers and he gets hurt, people are gonna I still think it's blown. Like, again, anybody can get hurt, right? Like, you go trade for Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell gets hurt all the time, right? Like, you trade for anybody. Again, like most stars in today's NBA, the days of playing all 82 games, it's not a thing anymore, right? Like, you talk about role guys. You talk about like guys like Austin Reeves playing those amounts. You know, like the only like real like, and he's not even like a superstar yet or anything. It's like Chet Holmgren played all the games, but that's because he missed an entire season, right? Like, so again, we're just not in that era of like guys playing 82 games anymore. So to me, as long as he's playing, 65, 70 games, we're fine, right? Like, to me, it's just as long as everyone's healthy come playoffs, good luck. Right? Imagine if you had Zach Lavine instead of Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell in the playoffs against Denver. We'd probably win that series, right? Because D'Lo was hit and miss, right? Austin Reeves didn't really show up till Game 4, and at that point it was too late, right? Like, you don't think Zach Lavine would have given you even 15 a game consistently, like clockwork, right? Like, yeah, a bad game from Lavine is still 15 points, right? And his ability to apply rim pressure, put pressure on Jokic and these other guys. Like, I absolutely think it would have been a different series. Would we have won the series? I don't know. It depends on how the rest of the roster looked with Zach Lavine. But, like, I think we would have at least made it a series, and I do think we would have had potential to win, right? Because that's the problem. It's like, and you're seeing that period in these playoffs. Dallas, role guys showed up first, second, third round. Get to the finals, where are the role guys? Right? Denver, role guys show up, beat us. Minnesota, where were the role guys? Where was Michael Porter Jr.? Where was KCP? I mean, even Jamal Murray was not great, right? So there goes them. Dallas, again, same thing. Minnesota, right? Role guys show up. They look great against Phoenix and the Denver Nuggets. Go and play the Dallas Mavericks. Where were the role guys? Right? So to me, it's like, it's clear, like, yeah, like role guys are role guys for a reason. If you can go and basically get star level players, right, I think it's fine. And I understand, like, it is a gamble. Like, I'm not saying that, like, lock it in. It's the home. But on the like, paper wise, it fits, it works, it makes sense. Skill set wise, it fits, it works, it makes sense. Right? The need, it fits, it works, it makes sense. Like, you go down the checklist, it's like, okay, check. It's just like health. Can these guys stay healthy? But you could say the same thing about LeBron and Anthony Davis, right? Like, they're coming off the healthiest season that they've had since, like, the bubble, right? Like, so yeah, if one of them go down, it doesn't matter who we get. Like, we could go get Donovan Mitchell and build a super roster and still not be a play-in team if LeBron and AD get hurt. So again, I don't believe you operate on the assumptions of injuries, right? Because then nothing would get done. Right? But to me, it's like, okay, if this works, good luck. If it doesn't work, that's where the problem relays. But again, you'd get to keep your picks, you'd get to keep all kinds of stuff, right? Maybe you have to give up one first because you're getting on Caruso. Fine. Like, I'd be okay with it. Even if, like, you traded, like, say, the 17th pick this year, you kept your future picks, or you trade one of the future picks and keep 17, whatever. Like, let's say you give the 2029 pick. Fine. Take it. Here you go. Right? Like, thanks for doing a service. Because I just think the juice is worth the squeeze. I think the upside and potential is high. I think you can go win a championship with Caruso and Lavine added to LeBron and Anthony Davis. Right? Like, I think you'd be in good shape. I'm not really worried about the depth and stuff. I like it. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of Zach Lavine? If you can get Alex Caruso, do you think even if you can't get Alex Caruso, go get Zach Lavine? Do you think no, just stay away from him, period? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot as we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.